Hello, my name is Radek. I'm a design director at NOWO, and I've been here for about 4.5 years, or 4 and a bit years.
Hi, my name is Alistair. I'm also design director at NOWO. I've been here about 5 years. So I started straight after college, pretty much. So I started in a very junior role, and then kind of worked my way up. So kind of a combination of people leaving and my experience growing, until the position I'm in now, really, which sort of I think we're both growing into as well.
Yeah,
at the same
absolutely.
time.
And I mean, I guess you've gone through the full ranks there as well. I actually started NOWO as a senior designer after having freelanced for about a month, and I was sort of appointed a permanent role. And then, to Al's point, a combination of people leaving and sort of a bit of a maybe restructure in how sort of we work. And then kind of the opportunity came to have a more senior role and to lead, say, a team or a team of designers. I think NOWO is quite a unique place where the variety of work and the scope of work we do is always quite different. So when I started here, I was given packaging projects which I'd never actually done before, and you sort of kind of keep your mouth shut. You go with it, not sort of letting know that you're not really that experienced in that field, and then I don't know, you build up sort of a strength to that, and you kind of get thrown in the deep end, and with different things as well, like from campaign work to a variety of different things.
Yeah, I think.
So I don't really,
because as you say, we do so much different work. It's kind of not having a speciality that works the best for us.
Yeah, and also your skills kind of transcend different sort of
just being very flexible and kind of
disciplines.
I think approaching everything almost as if you've never done it before kind of leaves you wide open to find something that you may not if you're ruling out too much stuff as you get along.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're sort of, we both work on very similar things. It's not like one of us does all fashion, one of us does kind of all property. So it's a good mixture, really.
Yeah, and we try to keep that mixture sort of going as well.
We're not sort of
you don't want to be
stereotyped.
typecast into a certain client or discipline or whatever.
The core of our job is to sort of help shape that initial idea and direction, and then
to define the sort of the creative strategy and ambition at the very beginning. What we set out to achieve, what the solution to the particular problem could be, will be, on one level, and then obviously working with the team as sort of as I guess mentors, or to challenge them, to encourage them, but also sort of keeping track of that the creative output and quality is sort of at a certain level.
Yeah. I think as well, even though we've got this kind of structure and different levels of experience, it's always quite democratic in the way that we approach projects. So the initial conversations will be with us and Paul and the designer that's going to be working on the project. So everyone's involved in that initial conversation. It's not like we go away and come up with the idea and then give it to someone else to execute it. We're just there to sort of ensure that we're pushing in all the right places, really.
But also to kind of prod a bit to get people energized. So it's that intangible thing that's it comes in very different ways. I think that sort of creative spark, or that idea. I personally, at the beginning of a brief, I personally like to not be on the computer at all, kind of completely separate from the computer. Just kind of visually sort of sketch or visually think, I guess, and note that down. And I think just even that motion of sketching and thinking, sort of like trains your pattern of thinking and your ideas. And then obviously the next step would be to go on the computer. But I also like the idea of, I think it varies per client as well, and per job. It's quite an organic thing sometimes. Even serendipity to an extent. An idea might be sparked by an accident that whatever that's happened, and that's sort of set sail to a whole creative. It does vary, but I do like to start with a blank sheet and just draw.
Yeah, I think the thing that we both do quite well as well is not tying ourselves down to one solution from the very beginning. And I think that's what Ben and Paul encourage as well, sort of pushing every angle for as long as we can before we sort of settle on a solution. And maybe it's a combination of those solutions, but yeah, sort of blank canvas.
And you have to go through those motions as well. Like you have to get those down to record, like have a record of them before you can sort of define what the solution is, and inevitably it will just feel right. What the solution will be.
I mean, as well, it varies from brief to brief. So, some briefs you might walk away from the briefing and be like, okay, this is the idea, and there are kind of infinite variations on the same idea, or we all walk away and we go, we've no idea what this is, and then it's just like try everything and see what works.
Sure. So we've been working with Tom DIXON for a number of years now, about 3 years actually. So we've got quite a long relationship with him. We worked originally on the pitch to get the job, and we won the pitch. And then the first year we worked with him, it was actually for his eclectic range, and we were briefed to design the packaging. And we created really odd shapes. And I think from the beginning, from that first packaging job, to create striking colours with really odd shapes, that sort of set the tonality for the years to come.
Obviously, Made Thought had been doing that for sort of 10 years, I think now. So I came in kind of 5 years into that relationship, and obviously started as junior. So my role within that project at the time was a sort of junior position, and assisting other designers. And then kind of over the last 5 years, it's grown to kind of leading the creative for each season. And similarly to the Tom DIXON project, with kind of product ranges, each season requires a completely kind of fresh look on the identity, which is, for quite a modernist identity that's pretty stripped back, actually is quite a challenge. So kind of to keep coming up with how can we reinvent the 60-degree line, but that sort of change in responsibility and kind of your interaction with the client helps to keep that project fresh in a different way to just refreshing design. But I mean, for 5 years you've kind of talked to these people every day, several times a day, via whatever medium, so you get to know them quite well. It's all about the strength of the idea, rather than a style or a look.
I agree. I do believe, devoid of sort of style or sort of any aesthetic sort of coating, I think it is the idea that is ultimately the most important thing.
Yeah, I think actually as well, looking at everything like it's a possibility, particularly clients and briefs and things. I think that's what we always try and do, even if it's something that's you wouldn't have instantly thought, God, that's my dream project. There's always so much potential in whatever it is, to create something interesting, even if it's something tiny.